Good afternoon, class. I'm creating a small video here to show you another use of the for next loops. And I've got a problem here. I'm going to solve it two ways. First, I'm going to show you what it looks like using Excel, and then we'll go and we'll use MATLAB. So I've created a couple of columns in Excel. The first column is integers. I just did 1 through 20. It could have been longer. In the next column, which I'm calling y, is the t squared. So 1 squared is 1, 2 squared is 4, 3 squared is 9, 4 squared is 16, etc., all the way down to 20 squared is 400. All right, now, what I want right over here is the sum of two adjacent y values. So 4 plus 1 should go in right here, which should be 5. 9 plus 4 should be 13 and would go in right here. So how do we do that? Well, in Excel, we would just say this is equal to this one plus, where's my plus sign, plus that guy. Oh, no. There we go. All right, so 4 plus 1 is 5. And then I put that same formula in the rest of these guys, and we're all set. So 4 plus 1 is 5, 9 plus 4 is 13, 16 plus 9 is 25, etc., and we can see how the pattern develops. Now, the one that's interesting is down here at the bottom. Notice that 400 plus 361 is 761, but when I calculate this value, it's adding nothing plus 400. So this guy is really invalid. There's not two numbers we're adding together. So I'm going to delete that fellow. All right. So that's how it works. And notice that for the sum column, there is one less of them. There's only 19 in this column, where we have 20 integers and 20 squareds. We only have 19 of these guys. So that's what I'm going to do in MATLAB next, using for next loops. So I'm going to pause things here for a minute. All right, let's see how we would do the same thing using MATLAB. So to make t, I've set up a loop here to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, all the way up to 20, starting at the 4 and ending at the end. And so each time n will increment. So the first time through, the nth value of t will be n. So t will be 1, 2, 3, 4. Y will be the nth value of t squared. And so I'm building two vectors in here. And then just to make sure everything works right, I'm going to display them at the end to see if my program worked. So let's run that guy and see what results we get. There we go. So, whoops, turns out t is the integers that we wanted. There's all 20 of them. Y is those integers squared. So we're up through 20 squared, which is 400. So it appears that that part of the program does make my t vector and my y vector just the way I had planned on it. Now I'm gonna type some more stuff here and come back in a moment. Okay, now remember, I wanted to make 19. I want a vector called sum. It should have 19 elements, which is the sum. I'm gonna add up two adjacent elements in the y vector. The way I'm going to do that is I'm going to put another for end loop, and I'm going to have it build the 19 elements in there. And here's my sum. The sum, the nth element, which is the first time through, n will be 1. So the first element will be sum will be the first element of y plus the second element of y. The second time through this loop, n will be 2. So the second element of sum will be the second element of y plus the third element of y. And so at the end of this, we will have 19 elements in my vector called sum. To display, when I want to do a display my table, all these vectors need to have the same length. Since sum is only 19 long, I'm going to put a 0 at the end so it will display properly. So let's run this guy and see what we get. And ta-da, there's my nice table. Here's my integers. Here's this column is the squared. 3 squared is 9, 4 squared is 16, 5 squared. And over here we have a sum. 4 plus 1 is 5. 9 plus 4 is 13. 16 plus 9 is 25. And once again, get down to there's only 19 of those that are valid. I stuck that 0 in there so it would display. And that right there is really similar to your homework problem. In your homework problem, you're not squaring, you do something else, but you would change that. And in your homework problem, you're not summing, you're subtracting. So you put a subtract sign in there where it's appropriate. You might have to change the orders or something like that. But this should give you a good start on the homework.